remains the most compelling argument for an open world. We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city. Missed me.
Hey man, this is Tommy Chong, and right now you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, this is Jordan Belfort, the real Wolf of Wall Street, and you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sean Danielsen from Smile Empty Soul, and you are listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol Baskin, and you are listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
This is Shirley Phelps Roper with the Westboro Baptist Church, and you are listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
What's up? It's Tom from Plain White Tees, hanging out on The Anthony Rogers Show.
What's up, everyone? This is Rain from Our Lady Peace, and you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
I'm Baby No Money, and you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show, the best podcast.
This is Agent Sebastian of the Carnarks, and you are listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Brian Vander Ark from the Verb Pipe here, and you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
And Cam off balance a bit. Now he gets it right.
Cam Wesley Janssen is an American former professional ice hockey player who played in the National Hockey League with the New Jersey Devils and St. Louis Blues. He was selected by the New Jersey Devils 117th overall in the 4th round of the 2002. Wesley Wing is an American-born actor and filmmaker living in Tokyo, Japan. He is also the brother of the co-host Sean Danielsen. We will be watching the trailer to his new project tonight.
Today's sponsor is Coffee Farm out of Honduras. Fresh coffee. They have a location in Warrenton, Virginia. That's in the description. They carry wholesale and retail. So if you're an entrepreneur and you want to make some money selling some good coffee, I mean, this might be a chance for you. Or if you're normal and you just drink coffee and you want to try something new and, I mean, probably better than what you're drinking right now, this is great coffee. So place your order, 540-430-4032. Give them a call. Check out the link in the description. Get a hold of them online. Follow them on Instagram. Do your thing. Just step your coffee game up.
Here at Luxurious, we only use the best California pine trees around. Each woody oil and balm contains up to one whole tree. Did you know I hand-pick each and every pine cone myself and make it a point to find the older ones because, well, those are aged to perfection. Once the perfect tree is taken down and strategically stacked, it's on to phase 2. At this point, each pine is carefully cut in smaller and more manageable pieces. I mean, will you just look at that pile of select wood? From this stage, the BFS 9000 shreds the pines into an almost angel soft fibrous material as shown here.
Here at Luxurious, we use quality ingredients and the freshest pine cones.
Get luxurious, my friends.
Hi, welcome back to the greatest show that ever existed with your host, me, and co-host, Sean. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we decided we actually don't have a hockey player on here. This is a fake marketing. It was a lie. No, I'm joking. He bailed earlier, so we don't have him. But what I do like is we have a filmmaker during a writer's strike. There's a lot of actors and there's a lot of other people on strike right now, but not this man. How you doing, Wesley Wing?
Good, thanks. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Excellent.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on all the way from Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah. I like how you guys add the Japan at the end, as if there's like a Tokyo, Georgia, or a Tokyo,
Missouri.
There might be.
There could be, I suppose.
It's possible. There's a lot of Lebanon, There's a lot of Lebanon in this country. And I mean, if there's Lebanons, who knows?
Yeah. I had to explain that to a British guy in a bar one time. He's like, why do you guys always say the country or state after the city? And I'm like, well, it's because, like what you just said, we have a Paris. We have a Paris, Texas. Okay.
That's right. There's a Hollywood, Florida, and there's all kinds of shit. So
It's like just I fucking wanted the robot to say that. It's typed it, That's why. just like so I just wanted that fucking robot to say Japan, It was good.
Hell yeah. So
So Wesley, you're saying you're gonna fight Cam Janssen for not being here today? You're saying before the show?
Yeah, I was
that
gonna. I even did
confessed?
my homework. I looked up a bunch of his video. If you look up Cam Janssen, there's no video of him scoring any goals. It's
just fighting
him just beating the crap out of people.
So is this are you officially challenging him to a match of some kind, like maybe mixed martial arts or boxing or something like that? Because I mean, I know you were excited about this. He bailed.
Yeah, I was. Yes, as long as I get to use a firearm. So like I get like, how about I get like a flintlock pistol or something, and he gets 10 paces or like 10 yards to run at me, and if I miss, he can just
fair.
Crap
Does he get a hockey stick?
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Let
I
him
mean,
know.
I think his fists seem pretty good enough.
That's basically what he was known for, right? Is fighting.
From what I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and not showing the podcast. Like he was known for two specialties. He beats up everybody and doesn't show up to podcasts.
That's good. You got to get that into his wiki page. He's a podcast bailer and former hockey player.
I wonder, like, how many years did he actually play in the NHL? Do you guys know?
Like 8 or something.
I wonder.
I know he retired. I think he retired in 2016.
Do you think that he's like so loaded from those 8 years that he's just good for the rest of his life, or do you think he's got to like?
Most of those guys probably are.
How
retarded?
Because hockey salaries are not. I mean, they're a lot, but they're not like insane money like the way baseball and basketball and whatnot are. Football, right?
I looked it up. He was making like $500,000 a year or something like that.
Yeah,
so he was making lower than the base pay for an MLB player.
Yeah. Well, he's not making Smile Empty Soul money, Sean, but he's he's not breaking in them gold records, bro. But
he's definitely not. Yeah. Definitely not making.
2002 to 2016 was his active years. So 14 years. I was way off.
Oh wow, that's a lot of years.
Whatever guest doesn't show up, we just talk about him the entire time with the other guest.
That's right.
We're like
yeah. We're all like looking up facts about Cam Janssen for the next hour and a half.
That's our new format. Sorry, Cam couldn't be here today, but he was a towel boy for Savage Center. Cody put that on the screen.
You should just respond to his cancellation email with the link to this interview of us just talking about him for 2 hours.
Yeah, I was trying to die in a creative way, so it's like it does seem like a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys just make him stronger by talking about him, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Just building the legend of Cam Janssen.
That's right.
Well, what's funny is
Janssen or Janssen? I can't remember.
Who cares? Who fucking cares? But we try to tell people. Cody said the same thing earlier. Like we try to like tell people, and like they're like, "Who?" I'm like, "Oh, like former Blues player." Like never heard of him. I'm like, "Fuck." Well, all right,
dude. It seems like if he was just the brute guy that just fought all the time, he should be like super well known. You think that's like the most entertaining?
Well, we had Tony Twist. Player. We had Tony Twist though. He was like the famous one for that. He was like the guy who just beat everybody's ass, and like fucking like then everybody's like, "Yeah, dude." You know. I don't want to say this on record. Actually, never mind. But no, Tony Twist would beat the fuck out of everybody.
So he was the main bruiser guy, and you had him on the show.
No, I didn't. But I know you want this story. I can't tell the exact story I was going to say, but
I got you. There's
just on legality reasons and stuff. Like I can't do it.
All right, move on.
You have an NDA for this? Or?
No, I just don't get arrested for this story. But because we're all law-abiding citizens now that we're old.
Oh,
but,
sure.
But no, yeah, he was a fighter, man.
Beat the crap out of a minor or something, and you can't talk about it.
Oh no, it's something. Not that bad.
Is hockey popular out there in Japan, Wes?
No, but it is like a niche thing. So the people who are into it are really into it. But actually, my physical therapist. So I broke my ankle like back in spring sometime, and I've been going to physical therapy for that. And my therapist, I just don't want to say my therapist because then people are thinking like, okay, but
they both sound equally as gay. I was like thinking in my head. I was like,
right?
I was like, he broke his ankle. And he's seen a physical therapist. Like, what a cock, you know? That's why I'm just fucking.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just fucking.
I thought it was pretty gay too, but
at least we agree.
But I really want my range of motion back in my ankle. I that's important to me, so I decided to go along with it. But her whole family, like her dad's like an ex-professional, like international hockey player, like played for the national team. So there is like a small community of people who do it here. But no, it's not. Long story short, it's not really or short story long. It's not really a popular sport here at all. They're just not big enough.
What is their sports ball of choice over there?
Baseball and soccer.
Losing World War II.
That
was their favorite sport.
It's setting records for heat waves in 2 cities specifically.
How close are you to those bombings?
Oh, man, we're only 10 minutes in the
well, you're never gonna be able to get a job again already. That's good.
I'm done here. My agency's
taking
gonna
over
call
anyway.
me and be like, we're cutting you.
AI's taking over anyway.
You're fine, dude. This interview's in English.
Yeah. AI is taking over. Actually, I just had to turn down a job for AI today. They called me up. They wanted some voice samples, and I was like, "Is this an AI thing?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, not doing it."
You just don't want to be involved with any AI project whatsoever.
No, stay out of the AI thing.
What if it's already happening and just we haven't caught up to it yet? It's like there's a lot of movies with Tom Hanks that look fake.
It is already happening. They're already using it. Yeah. That's I think that's what's one of the things about the SAG strike, right? That's part of the that's probably one of the things I agree with in the that they have a good point there is that, and they're already doing it, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of against robots making movies. I only want pedophiles to make movies. So that's why that's why I work with Hollywood.
Well, that's another issue.
Things are the way you like them right now, dude.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, no, as long as SAG is protecting the rights of pedophiles to make movies.
Those pedophiles spin a good yarn. Yeah. Those guys tell a good story.
Yeah, I love how they just keep making the same movie over and over again. It's like why get creative and like kind of ruin it, when you can just make the same awesome movie over and over and over.
Dude, you can make Spider-Man 20. It's fine. Just just make it. And you got,
he's got purple hair and
transgender Spider-Man. Maybe, you got to evolve it a little bit.
They're going to steal that, Sean. You just gave them a fucking idea and they're going to steal that shit, bro.
AI's already picked it up. It's already working on it.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. It's in the mother brain now.
Yep.
I'm going to start something called like gay AI. So you're homophobic if you don't like my AI. I'm just like, well, if you didn't take that job earlier, well, you're a homophobe, I hate to tell you that. If you disagree with anything I say,
Gay Eye sounds like a ripoff of Queer Eye written by AI.
Yeah, it's like could we do worse than we're currently doing in film? I feel like they're like we're on strike. I'm like, haven't you guys been on strike for like 20 years?
Yeah, pretty much.
This is now just the independent movie episode because there's no hockey player here. If you're just now watching, if you're one of the 625 people that are unfortunate enough to watch this cell phone show, there's no hockey player. We're talking about
so Kiko says that they're making Spider-Man bisexual in the comics, or Superman, I'm sorry, bisexual in the comments. Is that true?
So the fans aren't just the only gay ones anymore. Superman's now gay too. That's weird.
That's probably true.
Inclusive.
The comics, they were ruining the comics before they were ruining the movies, I think.
Yeah, comics have been gay for a long time. Like I feel like I used to call comics gay in like 2004. So they're just now catching up, I guess.
You were ahead of your time, dude. Just another timeless quote or comment from Anthony Rogers.
No, it's true. It's just like I've always thought comics were gay. It's just I like good movies. Like They Live. Like They Live's a good movie. That was like in the 80s. That was a good movie.
The Matrix still stands up to the first one.
The first one.
When you watch the first, I actually just watched the first one again recently for the first time in years, and I was just like blown away by how much more relevant it is now.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, The Matrix rules, man. Like that was the movie. The third one, I'm like, what are they even doing? I couldn't even like watch more than 10 minutes. The third,
Well, then the fourth one, of course, they required you to be
There's a fourth
vaccinated
one?
to attend. Yeah, they came out during it came out during the Rona, and they required the vaccine to attend the movie in the theaters. And I was like, that's fucking.
They required that. Wait, was that for the movie theater made that rule, or was to go see that movie specifically? How did that
I have
work?
no idea.
That's super ironic. That's like super.
The whole situation in general is just
The irony is thick there. for
I
sure.
doubt it's the movie itself requiring it for only its showing.
Yeah, it was probably the theater.
But you know, I guess sign of the times at that point. But very ironic with that.
Yeah.
Could you? I wonder if those people feel full that like got a vaccine to go to like a carnival or something, and like the next week it's like, oh, by the way, never mind.
You have,
And,
you have myocarditis now.
Yeah, sorry,
I'm now meeting all those people here in Japan that were basically like, I just got it so I could travel. And now it's like you can, with or without it, you can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, I held out pretty good. I was just like, this is crazy now. Like I was just like, I was like, I don't know, man. I couldn't believe people fell for that shit.
You know, the funniest part of that is I know some people that are pretty liberal, and at the tail end of Trump's presidency, when he was pushing Operation Warp Speed with the vaccine, they were in agreement with me, because I was going around the whole time during the Rona saying the end game of this whole thing is forced vaccination. I mean, I've been saying that forever. My album cover for my Oblivion record is an octopus injecting a family sitting on a couch with syringes, and you know, I mean, that's been the game plan. So I was saying that, and some of my liberal friends were like, "Oh, never." They're agreeing with me. I'll never take that Trump vaccine.
Yeah, and then they flip.
And then Biden Trump is removed from the situation, and Biden takes over, and they're like, "Yeah, get vaccinated." It's like, do you think that the Trump vaccine project was just scrapped and they started over when Biden got in?
Yeah.
Like it's the same fact. It's the same vaccine. It's the same project. It's the same whole thing. You were just saying you'll never take it because Trump is the representative of it. And as soon as he's removed and Biden's put in, they're just in line to get it.
Yeah, like I couldn't imagine like trusting the pharmaceutical industry. Like it just seems like insane. Like if and they had it like in no time at all. They're like, oh yeah, here's this thing for this like disease, or we already found the cure. You know, it's here it is, dude. It just seemed like all fake. I thought we'd be already put in concentration camps. To be honest with you guys, I feel like they're kind of going way behind.
If they could, they would. They take it as far as they can. You know, it's a step-by-step process.
This was just like a litmus. This was just a test.
Yeah,
they were just testing the waters.
Yeah,
and I think we gave a lot of ground.
I did
collectively. I mean, I'm not talking about us.
Yeah,
we are blameless in all of this.
I was eating buffets the whole time, bro. Like with old people stuff. Like I was eating with my wife's grandpa. I was eating at buffets, making fun of it, and like, everywhere else is closed. I mean, you go to St. Louis. I think I went to St. Louis after that summer. Like I just hung out at the river and like kind of just like hung out in the country all summer. I go back with like a Trump shirt. Trump's like riding a tank. I went back to like St. Louis with a Trump shirt. Everybody looked retarded, man. Everybody had like this fat and overweight trying to tell me health advice. I was like, I can't pretend this is real. You know, I'm just like
yeah. I didn't. My world was even stranger in the sense that because Japan's weird in the sense that they didn't make any mandates or laws, whatever it was that they tried to pull in the States. They didn't do any of that as far as masks, all that stuff. They did do a few things where they asked people, like restaurants, to close by 8 o'clock because Corona only comes out at night or something like that. And
it's the boogeyman.
But there was never like a mask mandate the whole time.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I wore a mask like the first couple days when we didn't know what it was. You know, when COVID was like, it was just panic all over the world. And because COVID got to Japan before it did the United States, we actually the state of emergency stuff started I think like a week or two ahead of you guys.
I thought COVID was gay. I thought they figured out like with science that COVID was fake and gay.
I don't know.
Do you not trust the science, Wes?
I don't trust the science. It came to us before it got to you guys. The whole toilet paper thing here happened like 2 weeks before it happened in the States.
Oh, yeah. Black market.
That was bizarre. But
Weird,
what I was getting to is that they never actually shut it. Technically, there was never any rule.
Sorry. I didn't
yeah.
think they used toilet paper in Japan.
Now we're gonna get to the Japanese I knew this was gonna come up as something. The Japanese toilet. Is that where you're going with this?
Yes.
Well,
Of course. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Wow. Everybody wants to know about the magical Japanese toilets.
All right.
But
once we get back to it,
we'll get back to it. But just to make what I was gonna say is I never had to do anything. I didn't wear a mask the whole time. Everybody was like covered up, but there was never any rules, so nobody could do anything about it. It was just a social rule. So people were judging me all the time. I had old ladies yelling at me constantly and people offering me masks and stuff like that. And I just politely said, no, thank you, and blah, blah, blah. But I never had to Japan was like one of the coolest places to be during all of it because I never really changed. People changed. People got weird. But as far as it affecting me, I just kind of went about my business. I had the city to myself for a year. Trains were empty and but everything was still functioning. So I just had
as a comedian, it's the same way because everybody else like works all week and I had the whole week off and I just like eat at restaurants with people. That's like what COVID felt like, just being a comedian all the time. Like we have all this time and nobody else does. And like I was gonna bring up something else. Like Sean, like Wes looks like you if you got your life together. That's like what it looks like.
Oh, jeez. Which is ironic because he probably has his life together more than I do.
Well, you look like if Sean had insurance.
That's good, dude.
Yeah. I'm the
good.
one like frantically like trying to help raise money to make a movie with my friends, and yeah, I don't have it together at all.
Yeah. I just said that you looked like it.
That's funny. Somebody just asked if it's cultural to wear a mask when you get sick. And to answer your question, yes. A lot of people actually, masks were a thing in Japan before COVID. People would wear them during flu season if they're feeling sick or something. They just cover up.
Yeah.
Anyway, just answering that question.
Like, I'm wearing a mask so I don't cough on you. I'm like, you're gonna cough on me if you don't wear a mask? Like, how dumb is that? It just, I don't know. It's like crash bag hazmat suits and stuff. And then it was just like, it was like the weirdest time ever. I'm like, these people, the dumb people think they're smart. This is so weird. You know, they're not like self-aware. It's like, I feel like intelligent people like know they're dumb, but like dumb people don't know they're dumb. You know?
Right. The old, the wisdom and not knowing type of thing. Yeah. But anyway, if you want to go back to Japanese toilets now, we can talk about that.
I mean, I guess might as well, right? It's
okay. The whole thing. How's it working? I don't kiss and tell. Yeah. I wish I could just grab my camera and like show you guys. I should have broadcasted from the phone.
No, but my original question was because you said there was a toilet paper shortage, but is there a need for toilet paper in the country?
Oh, you still need it. The whole thing, whatever you hear about the bidets is a lie. So it doesn't get everything.
What you're saying is it's a combo of the.
You got to do it. Yeah, you do a combination of both.
I got you.
I actually prefer just the paper.
So Japanese toilets just a bidet? You've never seen a bidet, Sean? Is that what you're saying?
No, I've seen a bidet. I'm just asking him like the standards for Japan. You know, South Park, of course, did that episode more recently. And I think that's fresh in my mind, and maybe some other people's too. So
the cool thing about the Japanese toilet is not the bidet itself; it's the fact that it has like this magical. I don't even know how it works. It has like a deodorizer in it. You never smell anybody's crap. You never smell it.
It
doesn't matter. You could go in like 30 seconds after they've just been in there blasting the thing to hell, and you won't. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's the only reason why I want one when I come back to the
So
States.
so you
Has
you never
nothing to
get
do with the
to
spraying, huh?
you never get to reminisce over the smells of a pilot truck stop bathroom.
No, those days are behind me
You don't miss those.
or ahead of me. But no, I don't miss those. The ghosts of 1,000 craps. No, I
Ghost of a thousand shirts, exactly.
the tour days of just trying to find a safe place to
Yep.
relieve yourself.
It's one of the real
Uh,
struggles.
One of these days you'll find one somewhere on tour. That's my prayer for you. I hope that one of these days you're just out and you find some random bathroom and it's like there's this glowing bidet and just like
Tour's not the place I'm gonna bump into one of those.
you never know.
Tour.
No.
No, you've been on tour.
I know.
Usually,
there's no hope of finding one of those.
The bathrooms at some of the venues we play, and I'm sure Anthony plays as well.
I don't play venues.
They're unacceptable. It's not even an option. It doesn't even exist as an option. It's
when this movie money comes in, I'm gonna have one installed and built in like some dive in the Midwest somewhere, so you can. And that's your mission is gonna be to find it on tour.
Yeah.
You set up a debate like right after that toilet paper black market thing. Like it was I went to like a market and like the guy's like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like looking for. He's like, and he like tried to sell me like behind the counter or something. Like I'm just like it's some power move. I'm like, I'm getting a bidet. I'm not talking to these fucking retards ever again. He just ordered it and it fucking came. I was just like,
that's fine. But it's a myth though. You still got to wipe.
Well, duh, yeah.
It doesn't get it. It doesn't get it all.
So yeah. it's just less toilet paper consumption.
Yes, yeah.
It's just a little less. I feel like it's still the same because you got to dry now. It's all wet down there. And
well, toilet paper doesn't hold together when
it's not meant for that. No, you got to have like some brawny next to the. You're gonna have to have another like little dispenser installed.
So was this what you thought you'd end up talking about when we?
Not at all. I thought we would have been past all the movie stuff by now, but we haven't even gotten there yet. That's fine.
We have to meander our way.
I'm just going through I'm going with the flow. Whatever you guys want, we'll get to it.
That's right. Hey, so yeah, I guess the beginning of the journey towards that could be. Tell us, what year was it that you moved to Japan?
2018. Yeah.
So how did you start getting into acting out there and tell us some of the things that you've acted in out there in Japanese TV?
Yeah. Okay. So when I got to Japan, as you know, I got married and I went on a spousal visa and my first thing I had to do was get a job. So I was coaching soccer full time in the United States before that. So that was my job in the States. And I was, working for US Soccer Academy and stuff like that. And so in high schools and stuff like that. So when I went to Japan, I started looking for a job in that area. And it's kind of difficult also with the language, cultural barrier. And Japan they don't like outsiders. That's still that's the thing here.
Integration's super low there, right?
Yeah, for the most part, I think we only make up like 200,000 of the population in Tokyo itself. I mean, you see foreigners and stuff like that, but it's probably I think it's the most homogenous country in the world, at least in the developed countries. I think it's like 99% pure Japanese, and that's not including kids that are half Japanese, half something else. Wow. Yeah. So anyway, just trying to get in is difficult, but you could so I ended up just kind of doing this goofy thing where I did the typical foreigner in Japan thing where I was, you just go sign up with an agency and they need a white face, basically.
You could be the token white guy?
Basically, you're the token white guy. And I started out kind of doing that. And then I started networking within that. And I was doing these you guys would get a kick out of this. I mean, I should have brought up some clips for this, but I don't want to show that stuff. But you can find it on YouTube if you know how to type in Japanese. But they have these things called Saigen dramas. And what they are is they're television shows that do reenactments of real things that have happened, and like they'll tell a story like this. One of the shows is called Unbelievable, so like it's unbelievable that it happened. So they just tell random stories, and then they get foreign cast to reenact it, kind of like what shows did that in the United States? Like, did Unsolved Mysteries do that, where they had dramatizations of, you know what I'm talking about, though?
Oh, yeah.
Those, like, so it's one of those type things, but they dub over you. So you're acting in English and everything, but later in post, they dub Japanese guy talking over you, and it's hilarious. So that was kind of like some of the jobs I took at first, and it's so bad, and the production is really low, but I started to network and make my way up, and I started to get on television dramas as an extra, and then I started to get speaking lines, and then just a lot of my just random skills that I've had that I have got me certain jobs. Like, I could play soccer, so I would get oh god, why is their crime rate so low? Because, oh boy, I'll get back to that one. I'll get back to that one. There's that's a very complex answer. Anyway, I basically lost my train of thought here. I gotta start reading the question. I gotta start reading the questions. We should do like a question thing later. But yeah, so I started working and just kind of going up the ladder, networking with people who are more professional and starting to learn from them and getting better. And I can play the violin, so that helped too. So I'm in a major Nissan commercial that I did last year. It's still airing here now. And then I ended up getting a part. My big break was I got a part for a Toho movie, a Sony Pictures film, based off of are you guys familiar with Studio Ghibli? Like, it's like, it's Japan's version. You probably heard of the movies. I guarantee you've seen like Spirited Away was a big one. They're anime movies, basically.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like their version of Disney.
Yeah, I can't watch that shit, man.
Yeah, no, that's fine by me.
Demographic, Anthony.
But it's their version of Disney. It's very popular in the United States and in Japan as well. Anyway, they made a live action movie of one of the old films, and I was in that film as a supporting actor. And they needed somebody who could play violin because it has to do with musicians and stuff like that. So that came out. I was supposed to go to Rome to shoot for that movie, and just before it was the next week, COVID came out in Italy, and they shut down Italy. Wow. So it ended up taking us 2 years to make that movie, and
that's like that. That's like Circuit. Remember, like in the 2000s, Circuit City closed. Like people would put like Circuit City on their resume. Like they couldn't prove that you weren't like the CEO of Circuit City. I think that's like what COVID does, right? You Wall Street, but like, dude, fucking COVID, like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Live action play of Golden Girls, but like fucking COVID happened. Dude.
COVID happened. But in my case, I can prove it because I have an IMBD, and the movie I'm credited in the movie. It did come out. The movie did come out. It came out last fall. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like there's a lot of that going on where people are like, "Oh, I was going to do something big, and then COVID happened."
After being CEO of Circuit City, I went to opportunity. So like.
I'm going to use that one. I'm going to put that. I was the youngest CEO at 16.
Circuit City in the USA.
Circuit City.
Titanic too, but like it just.
That's genius, man.
That's
thought of that.
Yeah, but
up with that was like a thing. Like people did, like whenever like a business goes out of business, you like say you worked for them.
Yeah, no, I mean it makes perfect sense.
It's like, bro, I was CFO of MySpace, like back in the day. You can't thing, but
yeah, that's right.
That's
that's awesome. So Wes, tell us about this new project that you're touting now. Like, what's
okay? Yeah. So so it all kind of started a few years ago before COVID. I was doing
CEO at Circuit City.
I was I was directing this movie, and it had a $20 million budget, and we had to can the whole thing. No, I was doing tests. So with like tests are basically where you do like a test of it's a pitch. So studios have an idea, so they want to do say they want to do a show based off of Blade Runner or Resident Evil or something like that. They'll have directors or people shoot a test, and you can send it in, and it's just a concept basically. So I was doing the test, and I met this guy named Andrew L. Phillips, and he's the one who's writing, and he wrote and he's directing our film, the kaiju film. And then we met and hit it off and became pretty good friends. So we started working together. And then somewhere along the road, we met our financier and producer. And the three of us kind of went on this adventure, and we've been working on this film for 2 years now that we've been plugging away, and we're planning on finishing it. The idea is to finish it this summer, and we're going to start crowdfunding for that. So yeah, if you go to, I have it on, it's below my name. If you go to kaijumultiverse.com, you can sign up for a newsletter, and we'll notify you when we're going to start. We're going to start kickstarting to basically raise the money to finish the film. We've been putting in, it's basically just been independently funded for the last 2 years, and so we put a lot into it already.
Let's pull up a clip, right? Or like,
yeah, you guys have a clip. Yeah, so just a disclaimer real quick, this is not the official trailer. This is actually we haven't launched that yet. That's coming out soon. This is just a quick clip, and it's not completely finished. It's just, this is more of like a kind of just an idea of, get a taste of what it is. Yeah,
this is all you get for now. Okay,
this is all you get for now. Yeah, yeah. So we're still waiting for the rest of to release the big one.
So you're like director of all that stuff, or like what you?
No, I'm not the director. No, I'm the no. So Andrew, my good friend Andrew is the director, and he wrote, this is his baby. He's been working on this for quite a long time, actually, and I'm like helping produce the film. We have a producer, so there's a director and a producer, and then I'm helping basically kind of with producing it, and I'm the I'm the lead actor for the film. I'm the main character.
Is that because you're better than everybody else in the movie?
That's that's yeah.
True. Facts.
Yeah, and that's why I've stuck with it the longest too. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
It looks awesome, dude. Is that monster at the end? Is that the bad guy right there?
That is a rough. Yeah, that's a rough concept of the monster.
Of the CGI that's gonna be
the
final product.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be a lot more polished than that. That's just kind of like a quick preview. But that's the monster we're looking at. It's kind of like, so if you want to get an idea of what the film is like, we're going for like an Aliens or Predator type. It's that type.
I was getting Predator vibes.
There's a strong Predator vibe. Yeah,
we're make movies. I didn't realize they made movies about predators.
What's that?
Usually predators like just make movies. I didn't know they made movies about predators.
I get what you did there. Yeah. Yeah. It's a yeah.
But no, it looked cool. The full movie is actually 10 seconds longer.
It's a little bit longer. A little bit longer than that.
Oh, did it get weird or something there at the end?
Oh no. Fast ad. I was just making a weird joke.
Oh, he just put my he found my movie that I was in. Yeah, Mimio Sumatsuba came out 2020.
Mimio Sumatsuba.
It means in English, it means whisper of the heart.
How do you say hello in Asian, like or Japanese or whatever?
In Asian Japanese, how do I say what?
In Asian.
Hello?
In Asian. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Like, you have to say
Haro.
I think
Haro.
haro is the traditional Asian.
Yeah.
In Japanese, you would say haro. Haro.
Haro.
Haro. But
Americans is funny if they are to Americans.
What's that?
Are Americans as funny to Asians as Asians are to Americans? Because like anything that makes you laugh.
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
thought
They laugh at us too. And we all look the same to them as well.
yeah, with our big eyes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Haro?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know how many times I've been identified as Ben Stiller here.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens.
Have you signed
I think
Ben
that's how I
Stiller
get
all the
casted sometimes. Like, oh, this guy's kind of looks like Ben Stiller.
Wow.
I can tell by your graphic, the comment. I can tell by your graphic you're Asian. It's like an Asian graphic. What part of Asia are you from? Person in the comments. I can't say your name because I can't read other languages.
In Asia. Oh, that's our sister.
Oh, really?
That's Lydia. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that Lydia? Oh, look at that.
To be fair, your dad looks like Ben Stiller. That's funny. She doesn't say our dad. That's funny. So we have another audience member. It's not just mom.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got the whole family. You brought the whole family out tonight.
We got the whole family today.
No,
Dakota's not here. Haro.
Haro. Yeah. Haro.
Yeah. Oh God.
That was actually anything Asian people.
I wonder why mom hasn't joined the chat over here. She's got to be listening.
It's a lot of restraint.
Fucking up.
That is.
That's a lot of restraint.
Missing a huge opportunity here.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we've been putting a lot into this film for the last couple of years, and the idea is, Hollywood sucks. Not all of Hollywood. There's a lot of good people in Hollywood. There's a lot of professionals that are doing good things. There's a lot of people, but overall, as we were talking earlier, it's just they're just a bunch of weird woke pedophiles who are making terrible stories and killing all the old franchises that we grew up with, that we enjoyed. And so we're basically making a movie that's not all in your face politically. It's just a fun action movie, like survival horror film without the politics. And that's kind of what we're aiming to do. We have other movies. Actually, we already have 2 other movies. It's a trilogy. This is going to be a trilogy. So we already have 2 other movies waiting with stories outlined, waiting in the wings. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's crazy how bad movies have gotten. I mean, I know we already addressed that, and you just brought it up again, but it's like it used to be a story with a little bit of an agenda tucked in, right? Social engineering.
They would just they were really subtle. They were smart about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's just an agenda and social engineering with just a half-assed rehash of an old character with a new shitty story, and it's just trash, all of it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching your trailer more than I've enjoyed watching most movies. Like in the last 20 years. Yeah, dude, they're so bad, man. Like it's like everyone's just like. I mean, I still watch them. I go to the movie theater because I like the experience, and I like being disappointed. So it's like a good,
Yeah, and I think I think that there's a great opportunity. The gap is closing especially with technology and the quality that can be put out with cameras and special effects now. If you know what you're doing, if you've acquired some skills, you can make a decent movie on a lower budget, and the Hollywood doesn't have to be the gatekeeper anymore for that. And I think people are hungry for new art. something different. I mean, look at Sound of Freedom. I mean, that was produced by a bigger, like, I think Disney had that, right? They
owned it at one point. Yeah.
They owned it at one point. But look at the movie Sound of Freedom, and it blew Indiana Jones out of the water.
Yeah, I saw both.
And look at even that new Top Gun movie that came out.
Oh, fantastic! Last year
movie was huge too, and I think that there's a lot of people that still can't see, unfortunately, the social engineering. In entertainment, but there's enough that are craving something without all that bullshit.
That movie was very simple. It wasn't like an elaborate plot, or it didn't have twists and turns or anything. It was just Tom Cruise flying a jet, and which is pretty cool, turns out. That it was a good movie. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it, but
I watch most things that come out. I just go to the movie theater and eat a bunch of popcorn and make fun of it.
I actually think it was better than the original one.
Well, the scene where he was like flying was dope. I mean, the scene where he was flying was dope. But like there's just like a bunch of weird character development I didn't care about. It's like, but I feel like
But if you go back and watch the original one, it's kind of the same.
Fair.
It's
I like the plane better.
I like the goofy movie. Yeah.
Because like you felt like the pressure. I don't know. It felt good. He did a good job.
You felt the G's.
Yeah, dude. You felt like, I mean, just like
you're sitting in the theater and your face is going like.
It was just it was a good movie though. I saw that and I saw like I don't know. I see a lot of movies, so I mean I still don't think Hollywood's like where it needs to be. And like what's funny is like my friend sent me the day of the writers like strike or whatever they want to call it. Like they went on strike and my buddy sends me like a strip club TV show script like the same day. And I'm just like, that's so funny. Like my news was like, writers on strike. And then he goes, Ryan Stewart sends that strip club show PDF this same day he sent me like this TV show he wants to be on. I'm like, man, it's probably going the right way. I think Hollywood's done. It hasn't been cool in a while. I think anyone can make a movie with a cell phone. I think, I mean, to be honest, I could literally just interview, like, you look at bum fights. I mean, that wasn't with a cell phone, but same concept. You literally, as long as you have a compelling story, you don't really need equipment. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, or just like with bum fights, it's a gimmick. But if you have the right gimmick, like you said, you could fucking make that movie on your cell phone these days.
Yeah. This is what we're doing right now. We're doing a cell phone podcast. Like 600 people are watching this. It's just the fucking this is the world we're in. It's like.
Kiko has a good question real quick. It said, I just want to, the movie is going to be released in theaters. Where and how many theaters, I'm not sure. And then eventually it will come to Amazon, and we're planning on doing Netflix and stuff like that. So anyway, just answering that question.
His next question, yes, I've seen that movie too. I've seen The Machine. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was actually a good movie. Like I thought it was like a goofy action movie, but it was so good.
That the Bert Kreischer guy's movie. It's like a dramatic film.
Well, ish. I mean, as much as he can make it a dramatic film, it like had a storyline and shit, and it was like action kind of like, it had Mark Hamill in it playing his dad, like Luke Skywalker played his dad, and then like it was like you had like this whole thing like, why does my family love me? I'm just funny and rich all the time. I don't know. And then like, you know what I mean? And then like I don't know, there's some action. I think the Russian mob tried to kidnap him for something that happened back in the Machine story, like, or whatever, and then like. It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like a fucking A+, but it was a good movie.
I have to check it out.
For some reason, I thought it was just like a stand-up special.
No, it was like it was still pretty good for what it was. I thought it'd be way worse, like Tucker Max's I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell or something. I thought it'd be like some like really shitty rendition of something that could have been cool, but it was better than I thought it'd be. I mean,
interesting.
Yeah,
still not better than like Clockwork Orange or something. It's like still not like a. I mean, I feel like I haven't been affected by a movie.
I still haven't watched that movie all the way through. I've seen it as a complete film, but I've never actually watched it from beginning to end, like in a sitting.
It was good
That
when I was
movie
like
is
17, but I
yeah.
feel like I haven't been like moved by a film since then. So it's like I mean, I went to like film classes and stuff, and it'd be like they'd pitch like Citizen Kane or something. Like this is like the shittiest movie of all time. Like this is the best movie that was ever made with Citizen Kane. And I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. You know what I mean? It's just like it's so outdated, it's so gay, and it's like fucking Butterfly Effect's better than Citizen Kane. You know what I mean? It's just like fucking like you know what I mean? It's just like that's such a lazy fucking movie. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I still you know what I mean? It's just like everyone like praises that movie because that guy who did like War of the Worlds or whatever, like made it so they kissed his ass about it or something. They're like, yeah, dude, everything Orson Welles does is good. I'm like, man, that guy was fat. He couldn't even like be in shape. And then like you try to make movies and they suck too. You know what I mean? It's like he's bad at everything. He's bad
You
at being
really don't like Orson Welles. Wow.
not necessarily. I just don't think he should be placed on a pedestal because like no one could lift him up that high, probably as high as his ego takes him. You know, it's just like he's just a fat loser. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like what's like basically, you know what I mean? It's like a fatter Alex Jones like trying to fucking make a shitty movie. You know, that's like what I felt about Citizen Kane. And I was like, he's like Rosebud. I'm like, oh, that's so deep. Wow, that's so fucking deep. You're fucking wagging. Wow, fucking this movie's gay. That's like how I felt. This fucking movie's gay.
Gay movie.
Like Super Mario's Brothers was probably better, and that movie sucks too. Like that's how I feel. Like that's what they teach you in film school. Citizen Kane's the best movie that ever existed. That's what they teach you, and that's why Hollywood sucks. I mean, they watch shitty movies. I don't know. I'm glad you're in Tokyo making movies. Hopefully it goes well.
Oh, if you think it's any better here.
I was just being optimistic. I was just hoping.
Yeah, no, it's pretty brutal here in Japan. The irony is though is that in Japan they don't it's not on the woke side of things. They're not weird like that. Japan is pretty, they keep that stuff out of their movies. It's just that they just don't make good movies for the most part. They have some, there's classics that they have, but
well, there you go. That's the kind of crowd I want to be in. I want to go make movies where they suck at making movies, and then just like make them better. Like less competition.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just be like,
the problem is that they don't let you in. That's a whole other thing.
It's a club, huh?
It's a club. Yeah. They don't want competition.
You ain't in.
So if you try to do something better, they'll be like, no, you can't do that. Or we're not going to help you do that.
Amazon distribution or something, or YouTube or something.
Well, they stop you because you can't use. It's almost impossible here to get locations. Hollywood won't work with Japan because it's so difficult to shoot here.
Wouldn't you just shoot it and lie about it, or do they arrest you for shooting, or what do they do? I mean, couldn't you just I had to get insurance for like one project because like my wife made me, but I wouldn't have done it otherwise. But I feel like when you shoot stuff, you can just do whatever you want, right? And then just be like, oh, okay, whatever. Like someone will tell you.
They'll stop you. They'll stop you. There's secrets to doing it. There are like methods to doing it. But it depends on where you are. But for one thing, if you want to rent a location, like actually book a location and get it ready for a shoot, they won't let you do that. They'll always say, no, we're not going to let you do that.
Right. So you just shoot it yourself and not ask questions?
You just, if you can. We do a lot of guerrilla shooting. Like actually in that trailer, there's a lot of, when we were in Okinawa, we were shooting in Okinawa last winter. And there's these caves that are really cool. They're in some of the trailer there, some of that clip that we showed. And they're really cool caves. I mean, this is really cool stuff. And we were in there shooting and we have it doing lighting and everything. And we're all in costume and we got like camo paint on and we're doing the whole thing. And the people who own that area, the caves, let us shoot there. They gave us permission to shoot there, but they didn't close it off. So there were tourists coming through every once in a while. So we'd actually have to stop. We'd have one person at one end and another person at the other end, and they would like help let us know when traffic was coming through. And it must have been kind of surreal, terrifying, these poor Japanese tourists who are coming through, and we're like in these caves with big old M4 rifles and the whole military kit. And we're like, just must have felt like Pirates of the Caribbean or something.
Are guns legal?
No. But
prop guns or
they're airsoft guns. So what they are is what we do is the cool thing is about our director. He's also a gunsmith. And he basically built all the guns for this. So my rifle it's basically a real M4, like it's all the parts, but just with the airsoft insides, barrels and stuff like that. And you can't tell the difference because we don't have to wear. So it's weird in the States, people freak out over airsoft guns not having the red tip, or toy guns not having the red tip on the end, kind of thing.
Since the 90s, yeah.
It's weird here. Guns aren't. You can't. Guns are very difficult to get here. You can own shotguns and like you can get a license to go hunting and stuff like that. But they're very strict with that stuff, and people are kind of estranged from that whole culture.
Yeah,
but strangely enough, you can walk around with an air gun without a red tip on it, and nobody bats an eye. So
yeah, I remember that story.
They look real. They look real.
Yeah, he's like they used to have these like what did it was a squirt. It was that squirt gun, that machine gun squirt gun in the 90s. Like people were like robbing gas stations with them and shit. And like and they you see them in some movies in the 90s. There's some famous ones I can't think of them right off, but yeah, that gun, and then they got in trouble for like just robbing like whatever the fuck they could. It's like,
yeah. Well, that's another thing, I guess, is that they're not using them to rob stores here in Japan. We're getting back to the crime question. Why is crime so low here?
It was destined to be.
Japanese people just follow the rules. That's it. That's the short answer. They love rules and they follow.
Nobody
them.
robs guns because everybody knows karate in Japan.
No.
Everybody knows karate. That's exactly right.
People are very respectful of other people's property. Like, it's weird. I don't do this, but I could if I wanted to. I could literally go to a Starbucks and save my seat. Like if I wanted to save the table and go to the bathroom or go order something, well, I could literally put my wallet on the table to save my seat, and no one would touch it or take it.
People do that? Do people actually do that there?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. People will get out of their car and leave the key in the car, and they leave the car running. And
they've obviously never been to Southern California.
No. It's really weird. Like the most dangerous neighborhood in Japan or in Tokyo is probably like one of the safer neighborhoods in a city in the States.
Yeah.
I feel like when you say there's no crime there, that's like code for there's no black people. You're like there's no crime here. It's really weird. It's all Asian people. It's like there's no crime.
It's a culture thing. They don't.
I mean,
there is crime, and if it's something, you will get something. There will be every once in a while. There's a weirdo who starts like stabbing people. That happens here.
There's karate-based crimes.
Yeah, knife based or somebody. There was, I think, what was it, like 10 years ago? Karate based karate.
Give me a roll. Give me a roll right now. Give me that.
But there is like Yakuza. That stuff does happen, but it's not. It's just not.
What's the story with the Yakuza? That's such a famous thing people think of.
It's weird.
The Japanese beat up homeless people?
I don't know. She's probably referencing something she's heard there. I don't know. I'm sure maybe they do.
Well,
the thing is, I guess maybe that is something that happens because you don't see a lot of homeless people. It's rare. You'll have like the one community
They
homeless.
just karate chop him to death, and
they'll just come up. Yeah, he's the punching bag. Nobody like.
You must get house. I challenge you to battle. Get house. Bro.
Yeah,
is this show racist enough? Like that's what I feel like. I feel like we're really trying to make this show more racist than other shows, you know?
No, I think you guys could probably. Never mind. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? We were talking about. Look who just chimed in.
Your mom's name's John.
Are we all here? Yeah. Oh my God.
Why is your mom John?
We're all named John. There's John, Sean, and John.
Oh yeah,
John,
Wing's the first
John,
name.
John.
I forgot in Japan, like the names are backwards, so it's actually Wing John. So
Wing John.
It's your mom, Wing John.
Yeah. That's the mom. Dad had to get me in.
Wing John.
We're all here. Everybody's there. Oh man.
That's good. Well,
This is hilarious.
we're gonna show the trailer one more time because now your family.
Are you gonna show the clip because now they're here?
Yeah, here we go. Now that your family's here. See, even your sister John. That's what you said. It's good. Nice to meet the
even
John
Lydia's
family.
John. Yeah.
All right, here we
John,
go. We're
Lydia,
gonna show it one more time.
All right.
At least one more time. I hit play. I don't know why it's taking forever.
It just self-destructed. You play it once.
That was a touching piece.
Yeah, thank you.
Touching.
Yeah, that's but yeah.
When you get rich, I hope you come back to this show and then tell us that you're better than us. Like when Sean's like, "Hey, you want to do this show again?" You're like, "Dude, now that I'm rich, fuck you guys."
I'll just have a gold chain and a crown and scepter. And,
and then you'll.
But that would be it. That was the extent. I bought everything. Just
well, as soon as this movie blows up, you'll just be hanging out with Cam Janssen and not coming on the show. You guys will both bail together. You both will just bail on us together.
I pictured like Cam Janssen coming to the premiere, just coming through the crowd, punching me in the face.
Well, if you couldn't show up to a podcast, I doubt he'd show up to anything else. So
I'll just make sure not to have any special premieres in St. Louis.
Yeah, just stay away from St. Louis and you're good.
So your own sister said won't watch. That's messed up.
Oh, that's that's definitely my sister. Yeah, I said the same thing actually.
Yeah. It's like my sister won't watch my movies either, but I won't go to her homeless shelter. So, it's like this weird thing, in my family. I wasn't saying your sister. I was making fun of mine.
Do you beat up your sister too because she's
no, I just basically ignore her and act like she doesn't exist. That's like this thing we have where she acts like a giant bitch all the time, and I'm like, you don't even exist. Bonding at its best.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else do you guys want to know about Japan? I feel like now the Japanese questions are going to come out.
Can we bomb it again and get away with it, you think?
Just as long as I'm not here.
What city are you in? You're in Tokyo, though.
In Tokyo, yeah. Yeah.
Are you actually in Tokyo, or are you like in a surrounding area where you just like say you're in Tokyo like everybody in America does?
No, I'm in Tokyo.
Oh, okay. Because a lot of people
like, I can walk to, the famous Scramble Square where all the people are, always shows that clip of that huge crossing where the light turns green and everybody walks.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Japan other than they got bombed.
Oh, okay.
And they try to fuck with us and they only get Hawaii because they're whack as fuck.
Yeah, I live like 30 minutes from that area anyway.
Hiroshima?
So I'm not Hiroshima.
Nagasaki?
I'm far. No.
Oh.
No.
Those
Those are down southwest.
Only towns I heard of.
Those are the only two?
They try to fuck with Hawaii, bro. And like we're just like, nope.
Hawaii specifically.
Yeah, and the guy, what's pretty good about America too, the guy that did it's from Missouri, like Truman, Missouri boy, The only guy that ever knew somebody from my home state,
Is that your claim to fame in Missouri? Is that on the billboard when you drive into Missouri?
Oh no, the world's cucked now. They just like everybody just cries about everything. They don't talk about cool shit anymore, like mass murdering an entire country. They don't talk about that anymore.
No,
actually, Missouri does claim pretty heavily a pretty cool figure from history, though. Mark Twain. There's a whole area of Missouri that they're just touting Mark Twain. Mark Twain.
Really into Mark Twain. Huh?
Dude, fuck Mark Twain. I hate that shit. He's everywhere, dude. Like I'll end up somewhere and like I'm like getting an Uber and like I'm like in the Mark Twain forest, or I'll like go somewhere else. I'm like in Mark Twain Plaza, and I'm just like, oh my god, this sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That. Do you see him at KFC a lot? I was waiting for you to say something about KFC and Mark Twain, but
what do they have in common?
KFC.
I thought you were going to make a joke about how he looks like the Colonel. No, you don't see a resemblance there? I think for some reason the Colonel always reminds me of Mark Twain for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
his crazy cousin or something.
They got some old man crazy hair going on, like facial stuff, I guess. Mustache thing.
Yeah.
They both have white hair, and
Yep.
and they're both
They
dead.
they're both dead.
They're both dead.
And they both wear white suits.
I read that Mark Twain smoked like I think it was like 30 something cigars a day.
That's crazy.
Sounds like Missouri.
Something insane. Like he'd wake up in the morning and just the cigar smoking begins, and you probably just chain smoke them throughout the whole day. Think about smoking 30
That's
cigars.
Missouri. That's very Missouri.
You just never.
Oh
My grandma was like that, dude. Like it's Missouri, bro. Like my grandma chain smoked cigarettes, bro. She's like she always had one in her hand, like
Always.
yeah, dude. Like a coffee and a cigarette in each hand. And it's like, the ash was like this long on the cigarette because she just never ashed it. She just kept hitting it. It's like, man, my grandma would have loved legalization of marijuana, probably. You know. You ever think about those days?
Nope.
Nope, never did.
I don't think of those days.
You don't think about just getting trashed with your grandma?
No, I don't.
I don't think that's something that Wes or I could relate to.
No, that
Me
wasn't
neither,
really.
Yeah.
No, not you either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Mark Twain is big in Japan. He just wrote that in.
He's probably big. Like everyone's big in Japan because everyone's like 4 foot tall.
That's true. People are pretty big in Japan.
I'm just like
Western
trying to be
people.
racist. You know how racism sounds? I don't know. I'm just like trying like my hardest.
No, it's just it's okay. It's just I've been living here for 5.5 years.
Did you just say racism is okay, Wes?
I'm
Like that's
past
messed
it.
up.
Yeah.
That's messed up. You just
Well,
said racism is okay.
well, yeah. You got me. I'm saying it in the can.
You'll never get tired of
now
Applebee's again.
Now our grandmother is literally being mentioned here. I just asked her
Yeah.
how she felt about that.
We're gonna have to kick our family out of the comment section.
Is your grandma named John also? Is it a family name? Like it was?
No, she's on the other side.
Like your mom and your grandma are both named John. Like
We're just the Johns, and Sean and Johns.
Yeah, it's just a traditional.
The Sean and Johns.
If my mom was on here right now, she'd just be roasting me. Like I feel like that's all my mom would be doing. She'd be
It
like, "Why
sounds
you-"
like
"Why you
sounds
lose-"
about right.
She's like, "Why you lose your talking to Anthony?" That's like what she'd fucking say. Like, really.
Yeah, Anthony once told me that his mom would roast him all the time. That's where he got his sense of humor.
I'm definitely picking up some emotional damage.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no one's as good at making fun of people as my mom, probably, dude. Like back in the day, like I remember just like watching her just roast everybody. That shit was so funny. And then like it turned on me. I remember being like 14. She just like made me look stupid as fuck. I'm like, oh my god. And then by 16, I started winning though. I started winning all the arguments.
You had to figure that out to survive, huh?
Yeah, now only Gabby, my wife's grandpa, like he's the only person who can make fun of people better than me at this point that I know.
Yeah.
He'll just go. He does this thing where he'll like roast you, but seem like the good guy still. And I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? Like you just like use this charm to like make fun of you and insult you.
Yeah.
And then he'll just be like, well, I don't know, just like you can get out of it somehow. I'm like, this is magic.
He's sophisticated about it.
Yeah, he's like he just turned 88, so like that generation just knew how to roast people and seem like a good guy.
Yep. They're good at that stuff.
88,
Yeah.
that's an accomplishment right there.
Like we were at Cracker Barrel, and me and him just both make fun of people nonstop. That's like
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
That's we went to Cracker Barrel earlier, and like the waitress has like there's like a star system at Cracker Barrel with the servers, and me and him just like kept making fun of the star system and just like how and just being like, man, this lady doesn't deserve 3 stars. I mean, we should give her like just like roasting her nonstop and asking her like crazy ass questions, and like I don't know, man, it's funny.
Making the Cracker Barrel Women's Day even better, huh?
Yeah. It's like, aren't you happy you showed up to work today, get roasted by people that don't take you seriously? It's like, aren't you happy about that?
That's brutal.
You guys have vending machine restaurants in Japan. I saw on the internet.
Restaurants?
Or
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I feel like all the extremes get pumped. You guys get all the extremes over there as far as like.
Well, I just watched YouTube. There's just
there are vending machine restaurants, technically speaking, I guess so. So what you
that was the longest yes of all time, Wes. That was a really long yes.
That's yeah. Well, it's more complicated than that. It's not a vending machine. It doesn't it doesn't give you the food. Is that what you're talking about? Like a vending machine where you put the money in and then the food comes out?
Yeah, dude, I saw it on YouTube. I'm about to educate you about your own country, bro.
No. That's not. But you said it in plural, like it's a common thing. Like we're all doing this. No, this is not. That's like a weird one-off.
There's a lot of assumptions. I just asked if they had a vending machine restaurant, and then you said yes, but really long.
Yeah, sure they do. Whatever. They probably if you saw it on YouTube, they probably have it. They probably have it. Probably exists. You know what I saw? You guys would get a kick out of this. Yesterday, I was walking down the street, and just down the street from me, there's a sriracha vending machine. It just has srirachas in it.
Like different brands?
Just one sriracha, just the basic sriracha sauce.
It's Japanese water, right? It's like the Japanese water. Sriracha.
Yeah. How's the Japanese gravy? Oh, they don't really do gravy here. I mean, it exists, but it's not like a thing.
Do they have like American food restaurants there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just went to a place called the LA Garage the other day. It's like they just do like burgers and fries and milkshakes and stuff like that. It's like a diner. They do stuff like that. Sometimes it's pretty good.
Every video.
What's that?
My wife comments nice on like every live stream I do.
Oh, nice.
It just says nice.
Nice.
So when they think of American food, it's burgers and fries and
burgers. There's not any good barbecue places here. It's really hard to find a good barbecue place.
Burgers are like German though, aren't they? They come from like Hamburger in Germany. That's where or Hamburg, Germany. That's where like burgers come from.
Sure.
So Japanese people don't even know what American food is. That's fucking weird.
Well, yeah. I mean, we took it and made it better. So
that's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we're best
we do that with everything. We take things and just put our own twist on it.
They're like I don't like American food like chop suey. Like that's like what it sounds like to me. I was like, man, nobody knows what American food is. Even pizza's not American, but we perfected it, I guess. He's like Italian pizza's bullshit. They don't even like cut it or anything like that. And they use like olive oil and like grass and stuff. Like it's just like it's like the grossest stuff ever. And everyone's like, Italian pizza's the best, bro. I'm like, then why don't they cut it? And why do they put basil on it? Like I'm like, come on, man. Like
you don't like basil? What do you have against basil?
I like Supreme Pizza because I'm fucking awesome. And that's what awesome people
is. Is that just the meat? What is Supreme Pizza?
That's like the meat, peppers, olives.
Yep.
Yeah. Pizza. I had a 6-month run as a cook in Pizza Hut back in the day.
And the streets of Pizza Hut. Sean, they may have called it deluxe in Los Angeles in the third world where you're from. May have called it deluxe pizza.
Maybe.
I'm just making stuff up. I don't work in the pizza industry. I just eat it, bro. You know?
Yeah. Obviously, because you like the crappiest pizza.
Like what?
It's like the Supreme Pizza is like the worst pizza.
What kind of pizza do you like? What's so much better, Wesley?
I like Italian pizza with basil on it.
You just like meat in your mouth, okay? You just like all that meat in your mouth.
No, it's a meatless pizza.
Sausage? Is it? What Italian pizza is meatless?
No, I just like the. Actually, my favorite is the marinara. The marinara pizza doesn't even have cheese on it.
Well,
it's just sauce and roasted garlic with like basil and stuff like that.
Man,
it's good.
You're not making a good argument for yourself, Wes. I think Supreme Pizza is better than marinara pizza.
Huh? Supreme Pizza?
Yeah, it's the best on earth, bro.
It's all about the dough. It's all about the dough.
That's true.
And by the way, the pizza that I get is it's brick oven pizza too. So
yeah, people like that stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Hey, what's all this? Did you guys hear about this thing in New York where they can't make brick oven pizzas anymore?
Yeah, they're trying to destroy the pizza industry in New York.
Is that a thing? Like, why would you destroy your greatest asset?
Exactly, dude. It's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about New York City is the pizza.
Yeah, New York was going really well until they got rid of pizza.
Huh?
I said New York was doing really well until they got rid of pizza, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when that actually takes effect, but there's some sort of like restrictions they're going to be putting down on pizza places.
That's insane.
So
that's
solving the real problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wood fire. That's just ridiculous. That's so stupid.
Everybody said you said. Did you mean margarita pizza?
No, there's a difference. Margarita has.
You're fucking wrong. Okay. He said
no. There is a difference. Margarita has cheese. Margarita has cheese on it.
Yeah.
Margarita
Yeah.
has cheese on it.
You guys
Yeah.
are both wrong. You guys are both wrong. He said it
that's
right.
okay.
You guys are stupid. Okay. That's
all
what,
right.
I'm just joking.
I know you are.
I'm just
It's
messing with
okay. That's okay. Yeah. So are we done here? No, I'm just kidding.
I was actually going to say I should probably
Joke.
personally wrap it up on my end.
Oh, really? Well, we're gonna stay and talk about you.
Yeah, the whole time we're gonna talk.
I'm gonna tell all the. I don't even have any dirt on him, actually.
Yeah,
I don't have any. I don't have any brother stories.
There you go.
We're always on our best behavior when we're together.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
dude, how old were you when you came out with us on tour the first time?
You mean before I started working with you guys, like just out on tour?
Yeah.
Like I came those 3 days, 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. Were you like 15?
That's crazy, actually, to think about. That mom and dad let me do that. That was it's when was that? That was 2004. So I was like 16 or something like that. I was just about to turn 16.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
I was technically 15. I was on tour when I was 15. That's crazy. Yeah. That was fun though. That was good. Yeah, and then I started working for you at 18 though, I think.
Right.
Yeah. And that was
those were good times.
Those were good times. I'm trying to think of, are there any crazy stories that we have? I don't know. I'm sure that there's actually a bunch of them, but they just don't come to mind right now. Maybe Rob remembers. He's still in there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Rob and all of us did one tour together, and
yeah,
2000.
Probably the funniest one for me was probably the Bleachy. You remember that bus?
Oh yeah.
That was a fun
an adventure.
Yeah.
We did a tour in probably the worst tour bus ever.
That was we called the piss jug, the piss jug tour.
That was.
Remember Goose? Goose would like save up his urine in a giant. We had this. Have you talked about Goose on the show? Are we allowed to talk about other people? Nobody knows.
We can talk about Goose. Goose he's a guitar tech, and he's toured. He's teched for so many bands. You know, we first met him when he was with Shinedown, and he's teched for a whole slew of great bands, Head PE and bunch of bands, but he was out with us, and on that tour there was no bathroom in the bus, and in the bunk area, like between rows of bunks, there was a closet nook. And I remember one time I was like pushing like coats aside trying to find something, and I just like pulled two like coats apart and just saw like one of those gallon jugs of like a water jug, and it was mostly full and very yellow.
Yeah, it was one of those big Sierra. Was it Sierra water? It's like a gallon. It was like, oh, that's so nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
That, and I think he actually didn't. This is getting bad. Didn't he actually pee on Ryan one time?
What?
You don't remember that? He started peeing on him while he was in his bunk. He came back like really drunk, like 5 a.m. Everybody's sleeping. And I remember you could hear the sound of it hitting the curtain and splashing everywhere. And all of a sudden Ryan's awake like, oh man, you're peeing on me, man. What are you doing? It was Goose. It was Goose. I'm pretty sure it was Goose.
Oh, dude, if anyone, if there's anyone, it's probably Goose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, didn't you have like a weird night terror and like jump out of your bunk?
I trampled. I was just about to bring that up. It was the first night we were going out on. That was the when was that? That was like 2013 or something. We were on. It was just a quick run. We were going out to some music festival in Michigan, Jackson, Michigan. Do you remember that? We were just making our way out there. It was just 2 weeks. We were going out there and making our way back.
Right.
And it was the first night, and there's something about adapting to the bunks because you're kind of like in a coffin. and something happened where my leg like slipped out of the bunk, and I felt him getting up because he was beneath me and he was getting up, and I didn't know what was happening, and I like flipped out, and I was like a deer that like crashed through a convenience store window, like just trampling on him. And Jake was awake and he had to I ran him over. Yeah. I was like, imagine like one of those little Asian ladies giving you a back massage by stepping on you, but instead it's like a 6'2" white guy who's just stomping on you. That's what it was. I was just like, and I think Jake had to grab me off of him, and then I woke up and I'm like, what the heck's going on? Yeah, Jake's depiction of that was the best though. His little like like that was too funny.
Dude, another story that just popped up in my head is that time that Jake puked on your pants and then threw your pants away.
You threw them away. Yeah. Jake was, oh man, Jake was notorious for just throwing up in the wrong place all the time. He threw up a lot. There was one time we were doing a show in Springfield, Missouri, and somebody gave him like a Jaeger bomb or something. I can't remember. Somebody bought him just one of those nasty drinks, and he ended up throwing up all over the snare drum in the middle of your set.
Oh yeah.
And he's hitting the snare drum, and the vomit is just like
it's a spray.
Spraying everywhere, just splashing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the day before the Taste of Madison. So I had to change, like we did a throw and go the next day. So I had to like change out all the drum heads, and they were all acidy, like it just his vomit destroyed the drum heads.
Dude, one time, I don't know what was going on, but he actually he had a string of like 4 shows, I want to say, where he threw up on his snare every night. He couldn't stop throwing up on his drums during our set. And it just every night just spraying up in the air like a laser light show, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's wow. I'm glad I didn't have to put up with. I'm glad I wasn't the drum tech on that tour.
Yeah, things got a little gross.
That's yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, tours a good time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I missed those days. That was good. That was learned a lot about. Actually, I applied a lot of the stuff I learned in that industry to what I'm doing now. So, yeah.
It is weird how like with touring, it's like a school of life, because it's not just the industry that you're operating in. It's also, traveling and all the things that come along with that. It's life skills in general.
It's you. Yeah. You get a lot of street knowledge too.
Yeah, and you meet so many different people. You learn people.
Yep.
You just like I said, it's just a valuable.
It's very valuable and really actually very cool in the sense. One of the things I missed the most was like just all the different foods. Like I remember one of my favorite things to do, and we would do this together a lot, is just whatever city we were in, go find a cool restaurant in that area. Because you have a lot of time.
That's the best part.
Sound check. That's awesome. Yeah. There and there's a lot of good food in the States. There's a lot of cool places and a lot of interesting things. Each state has its own kind of unique culture, and everybody always has something good to eat. You just have to look. But yeah, no, that was always really fun.
Yep. Yeah. No, I still find that to be the best aspect of touring.
That is the best part. I mean, that's
sure.
In my opinion, that's the best part.
Yep.
Yeah. And you travel a lot as well, Anthony, right?
Yeah. I just got done with a bunch of travel. Yeah. It depends on the situation. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. But lately, yes.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's
I went to the only place that was like fucking ridiculous was like Oregon. Like everything was like dirty as fuck there. Like all the food places were like, and I went to like a Red Robin, bro, and like stacked the dirty plates in like a booth. And I'm just like sitting here. I'm like, are you guys like fucking retarded or something? Like it just didn't make any sense to me. It's just like they're just so filthy there, man. Like
I haven't been to Oregon since I think that tour in 2007 with the X's. You remember that, Sean?
I remember that tour, but I don't remember going to.
We went to Oregon. And I remember it being a little weird then. I can only imagine that was 07. I can imagine it's probably
It was just dirty.
much
The
worse.
food places were just dirty. It was weird, man. Like it's like, but I mean, but the opposite. I mean, I went to like Natchez, Washington, man. Like this lobster mac I had, bro. Like had like lobster in like every single fucking bite, bro. It was so fantastic, you know. So like some places are so good, other places are bullshit, you know.
There's gems everywhere. You just have to look.
Yeah.
And you kind of learn how to look too when you travel enough. You learn how to search for restaurants in a way that actually produces for you, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like Red Robin's is like pretty solid everywhere except Oregon. Like Red Robin's a fucking. I like fucking. I love that place, man. But like with there, it's like it was so fucking gross.
Yeah.
And then I kept eating at like this place called the Iron Skillet because I was at a. I just got a fucking. I just rented an RV park for like 3 days so I could like sleep and lay around, eat edibles and shit and unwind from like traveling nonstop. And I just like I laid around there and like I think it was like Medford, Oregon or something like that. No, it was Phoenix, Oregon. And then like I just kept walking to the Iron Skillet for every meal for 3 days. I would just walk there and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that place was so fucking gross, but I was just so wasty. I mean, I think I ordered pizza one time to my bus, and like that was the only time. Other than that,
yeah, Iron Skillet, man. I didn't even know those were still alive and kicking. Like
they're not the best, you know. It was like
there used to be a lot more of those out there.
I hope they used to clean because like Oregon was so filthy. Like all the food places were just disgusting to me. Like, and then I remember this thing my stepdad told me about, like how he had like family out in Oregon, how the dogs like lick the plates clean. And I'm just like, I bet they still do that. These fucking sick fucks. It was just like, you know, it was just gross. I mean, no wonder fucking mushrooms is legal, you know, there because they're all fucking idiots, you know. And I didn't mean to say it like that, but that's kind of how I feel.
You know, there are some pretty fantastic restaurants in Portland.
Oh God, you couldn't fucking pay me to go to Portland
if they're still standing.
Well, I was gonna say I haven't been to Portland in probably 5 years, and
in my mind, Portland is like some rubble town that's just like
there's just spray paint. I drove through it and it just looks stupid. I was just like, you guys are fucking morons.
Spray paint, is that what you said?
Yeah, just spray paint everywhere. And it's like they put tents where towers are. I'm like, you guys are idiots. You're gonna take over a town, like make it better, you fucking idiots. You know, it's just like it's just a bunch of troglodytes, man. Like just like going back to their cave dwelling days. It's just like lame as fuck. I don't know, man. Missouri's awesome and everywhere else sucks. That's how I feel.
There's actually some like major high-rise apartments going in right along the river there.
Are you vouching for Portland right now, Cody? Oh God. He's like, wait, we got Portland spokesperson coming on the screen.
No, I'm just saying there are parts of it that still look like it's COVID, you know, like outdoor, like scaffolding and like.
They still think COVID's real?
I mean, it never looked like it really kind of got cleaned up. You know what I mean? Yeah. The bars kind of expanded to outdoor seating and they just kind of left it up, but nobody.
You were just there, weren't you?
Yeah, in January.
Okay.
So it kind of, there's some like parts of it have a post-war kind of like apocalyptic, like escape from Oregon kind of feel, but for the most part, yeah, you know. Like,
I mean, I'm in St. Louis a lot, so I'm used to like the that part. But like, I appreciate how crazy St. Louis is, and I feel like everyone else is just like kind of gay, you know, like it's like ghetto but kind of gay instead of like scary. Like St. Louis is like kind of scary. Like you don't know if you're gonna get like I don't know, like killed or robbed or something. But you go to Portland, and it's like these people are just gonna like fucking like suck my dick at gunpoint or something. You know, that's like what it feels like. You know, it just feels like way.
I mean, they're probably just gonna offer you drugs. I mean. It's a little weird, you know. Everybody's like, "Oh, Portland's weird. Keep it weird." That's kind of their thing. I didn't think it was that weird. It just it's kind of a do whatever you want kind of thing. But they were big on like no guns. They try to keep like major violence to a minimum, other than the rioting. I'm not
stabbing only, stabbing and burning only.
A lot of that was confined to one area and not just all over the whole fucking town. The way
it was a stabbing district.
It to be on the fucking, it was all confined to one building. They tried to light a concrete building on fire, so they are probably fucking idiots. But
yeah, no, I'd be like all these places, and I'd be like, man, this looks dangerous. Like Google it. I'm like, this is the most dangerous town in the state, and then I'm like, is it more dangerous than St. Louis? And so I was like, no. Like, no matter what I do.
Unless you're in Chicago or New Orleans, you're probably
Even statistics, I mean, well, the stats are skewed because like we have a low population. St. Louis is only like 300,000 people, so the stats are kind of skewed in that regard. But we have more per capita violence than anywhere else in the United States. So it's like technically like New York City or Chicago would have more murders and blah, but there's a lot more people to murder and blah, you know. Whereas like St. Louis is just like kind of uneducated and kind of stupid, and like it's just like a bunch of fucking morons, and like and not everyone's a moron, but there's enough of them to get in the way, and like and like I mean I feel like my friends are kind of the filtered smart group of like St. Louis, like anybody I kind of know, but I'm also from like not from St. Louis. You know what I mean, like. I'm like I live there sometimes, but I'm not like from there. You know,
I feel like the American city in general is kind of
fair. Every American city,
like
you're definitely right.
American city across the nation is just kind of in kind of a strange.
It's not a
crisis.
good time to live in a big city.
No, I wouldn't. You know, when my wife and I, when we come back to the States, I don't have any plans on living in a city.
I went to Seattle and it was all satanic and it was weird. It's like if you're satanic, your town sucks.
Weird city.
Yeah, it was weird. Like the venue I played was like Pearl Jam played like the first 5 shows. The only reason I booked there, and like
Wes has been to El Corazon.
Okay,
yeah. Oh, that place.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah. So I went there. Okay, so I went there, man, and like I had to sit there and like there's like 666 drawn on the windows and all this crazy demon stuff. And I was like, dude, evil's so boring. You know, it's like you guys still think evil's cool. You know what I mean? It's just like so boring. And like I go there and I'm like talking to these like there's like fucking 20 people that show up to my show in fucking Seattle, and I'm like, does anybody believe in God? And they're like, no. I'm like, more heaven for me, you know. I was just like taunting them because it used to be the thing that you'd like you'd make fun of, like there's more Christians than satanic losers. So you used to like bait the Christians. Now you bait the satanic losers because there's more of them. You know what I mean? It's just like
they're the majority in certain circles at this point. You know?
And the homeless people are so energetic and happy. It's like so weird. Like, hey man, can I get a cigarette? And I'm like, no. You know, it's like it's just like weird.
The homeless people are fucking everywhere too.
They're like dancing. They're like dancing through the street, like starting fires on the street corner and stuff. It's like a weird tribalism thing, and I'm just like, dude. And like I don't know, man.
And they have they're free reign. You know, like more rights than property owners. You know, it's crazy.
It was weird. Okay, so there's like 2 classes of people in that market. It's weird. There's a bunch of like crazy crackhead homeless people, and then there's like a bunch of like tech losers that have like no social skills. And it's just like, it's just like the worst of both worlds. Like the worst rich people and the worst poor people pushed into like one stupid city where Kurt Cobain killed himself. By Kurt Cobain, I mean the CIA. I'm just joking. But no, it's like it's weird. And like I almost went to see Kurt Cobain's house, but I just ended up like smoking weed in my bus the entire time before my set instead, which was a better decision probably. I feel like I could have saw them.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
that town sucks. That's the funny story. Kansas City was surprisingly cool. I never hung out there. I drove through it a million times, but it was actually pretty fucking cool this time.
I definitely don't mind the barbecue.
Barbecue is really good.
You let me onto that. I had some good barbecue.
That place is pretty cool.
Yeah, between Joe's Kansas City Barbecue and Q39, it's
you let me know you told me about Joe's. I hit that place twice, I think, like on the way out and the way back in.
Those ribs are so good, man.
Dude, and the Cracker Mac, bro, both of them are fire. And like stop. You're like
stop. I haven't been able to get any of that in a long time.
You get like squid ramen. You're
like,
with sriracha.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good places. Nebraska is surprisingly amazing too. Like I actually really like how clean and how nice the people are there. I almost don't want to tell people Nebraska's cool and just move there. But I kind of like it. Like honestly, like I just thought it was like a boring bullshit state, and I went there and it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, Omaha has a lot to offer, really. I mean,
Omaha. I liked Omaha.
That
was fun. Yeah, I like their downtown area.
I saw your brother at a Bentley dealership with a speakeasy. That was like a dope show. Like in Omaha. That was a fucking badass show.
Yeah. There's a venue there now that is in a Bentley dealership, and the wall it shares with the Bentley dealership is all just glass, and it's also a speakeasy with like a crazy wall of bourbons.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, and they have a bar through the freezer. I think that's the actual speak. It's like you go through this like freezer room to like this other bar.
Yeah, that's the
so they have like a proper. Do they do the password thing?
I don't know. I went there with his tour manager who went back there. Like, showed me that. Fonzo showed me that.
Really cool.
You know, Fonzo
if I ever find myself in Omaha, Nebraska again, I will
Well, it was like I was a little happy to even get a show in Nebraska, and then I go to Sean's show. I'm like, man, I'm not a performer. I'm like, man, I finally got a show in the suburbs of Omaha, and like it was like at a pub. I have a show at a pub, and he has a show at a fucking Bentley dealership. I'm like, fuck, I'm poor after that.
That's a much cooler place than a lot of the venues that we play, though. You know, that's a
When you're at Pops, I felt better with myself. I was like, at least I don't play Pops. You know, it's like, I mean, I play a Bentley dealership in Omaha, but at least I don't play Pops. I'm just joking.
Wes knows Pops, right?
Yeah, I do.
Wes has done a good amount of touring with us. He's seen some.
What'd you do? Did you play music or you just like hang out? Or
I was working I was just hanging out. Just.
Well, I know if it's fun or business. I didn't know. That's what I was asking.
No. I was like tour, like stage technician with them and stuff. I did stuff like that. Yeah.
Didn't you guitar tech and drum tech for us?
I did both, not at the same time, but I've done both.
Yeah.
Cool. Drum tech was the last one I think that I did.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. And I did I think when I was 18, when I first went out with you guys working, I think I was a merch guy.
That's right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I did a little bit of everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was a great experience as far as just like we talked about this earlier. Like you mentioned, just all the skills that you pick up out there. It was great. But and another thing that was cool about it is that because of tour, I've been to 49 states now. I just have to go to Alaska.
I haven't been to Alaska or Maine. Like you guys are from Maine, probably. Right?
Oh yeah.
I haven't been there.
You got to go to Maine.
Well, yeah, I went to Lobster Dog. That's why I've been trying to fucking. I've been trying to make an excuse to go up there, but I just haven't been yet. Like Stephen King's from there too, I think. What
Yeah, he lived across the river from us, the Penobscot.
Yeah. We went to his house for Halloween one time, like trick or treating or whatever.
Yeah. He put out candy. Yeah. That was
I wouldn't take candy from Stephen King, probably.
We didn't actually go.
That's probably that's prudent of you.
Yeah. We didn't actually go in though, did we? I think we just went by.
No, I think we just went by. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's like sits there on his porch and like does
I've heard
all he does is talk weird shit on Twitter and shit.
On Trump.
That guy is a psychopath. Yeah.
No, he is, bro. Every tweet's about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has been in office in like years.
I know he's so obsessed.
He is. It's crazy. He's a weird guy.
It's like, man, if you hate Trump, wait till you find out who's president right now. Like, it's so crazy.
Like as if he doesn't know. Like,
yeah, we gotta tell him.
Surprise.
He still thinks Trump is president.
Speaking of that, I got some footage of Joe Biden straight killing it for the outro whenever we leave. Like, nice. I got a dope Joe Biden outro.
Joe Biden outro. You start with Ronald. You start with Reagan. You finish with
No, I love that Reagan clip too. He's just like doing a speech and a balloon goes off. This is like right after his assassination attempt. He's just like missed me.
Yeah,
dude, I love that clip.
He's got a bunch of gems. If you go through like,
no, he does. He was like the original Trump. He was like Trump OG.
Yeah. He was a funny guy.
Yeah, he was quick-witted.
Yeah, cocaine's dumb as fuck. Like I feel like all drugs are stupid as fuck, really.
Yeah.
Honestly. I say on edibles. I'm like, man, anything other than these edibles are fucking gay.
Anything but this Oxycontin, yeah.
We still say gay, There's a lot of heterophobic people out there. I didn't mean to offend the heterophobic people.
Heterophobic people? Yeah, crack is whack.
That's whack. True. Yeah, there's like I couldn't imagine smoking crack again. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But no, all drugs are fucking gay. Like I think they like glamorize them for some reason, so they can like arrest you or pull you over faster. It's like this weird way to lose your rights. It's like, oh, you must have drugs there. I search your car. It's like this weird thing. I don't know. Drugs are fucking stupid. It's like it basically just fuels the privatized prison system, like the new like slave colony where you just call people felons instead of slaves, and then you just make them make everything and do all this work. It like fuels the new system of like slavery in America. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, there's some connections there. I was recently reading about between, the big prison system and the record industries, and
totally
there could definitely be a little collusion there because, like you said, like rap music. I mean, how many people have gone to jail because of growing up idolizing like rap stars and
dude, 100%. Like when I was a kid, like we had these things called wiggers. I don't know if you had wiggers as a kid. It's like these white kids that acted
they
like
still exist, man. Believe it or not.
They're still around.
Except they're all in Indiana. They're all in Indiana now.
Gary, Indiana, to be
specific. they're all fucking. Yeah, that's where like the Mormons all went to Utah. All the Wiggers went to Indiana, and like it's their homeland and promised land. But no, okay. So these guys, like, dude, I remember doing. I promoted before I pretended to be funny, for money. I pretended to be a promoter, and I'd throw these like shows together, and like these kids would like be like, "Oh, I just got out of jail. Like, I'm supposed to think it's cool to get caught." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, you're so smart for getting caught. Like, what a hero, dude." And like you just like it's like an American rite of passage to go to jail for like complete morons that have like lobotomy-sized brains, you know, like post-lobotomy-sized brains. And they're just, you know what I mean? They're just like, yeah, dude, I went to jail. I'm like, well, have you tried having accomplishments? Have you tried doing something cool instead? You know, it's like I always hated those kids, man. Like they always tried to sell you like dirt weed. And dirt. They're like, do you want some dirt weed and fake Xanax? I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know, that's how I felt about them.
Dude, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Do they have those guys in Maine?
All those guys were everywhere.
They exist. Oh yes. Oh my god. Yeah.
Those guys suck, man. Like they always
permeated culture, dude.
I feel like that's more racist than anything. Like these like white kids pretend to be black. They're like, yeah, no, you know, I'm saying, no. I'm like, dude, that's so racist. Like that's like they think blackface is bad, but like that's like actual racism. It's like just like being a cartoon character. What do you think a black person is? Like that's like so fucking. That's so fucking racist. I feel like
it reminds me of the Chappelle Show. The blind black white supremacist, where he drives by and the white kids, the wingers, are listening to rap music, and he calls them the N-word, and he's like, "Did he just call us the N-word?"
Tyrone Biggins or something.
Yeah. Clinton Bigsby.
Oh yeah, there we go.
What N-word did he call him?
You know what I mean.
That's what I was asking. I was just making an honest question. You know.
You know, it's funny. Actually, I can say it. I guess I can say it. You know what the Latin word for black is?
What?
It's nigger.
Okay, so that's what he said.
That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. Clayton Bixby. Oh, it wasn't Clinton. It's Clayton. We were both wrong.
Oh yeah, Clayton.
It's Clayton. Right. Clayton Bixby. But anyway, yeah, that's where that word comes from. I was studying. Because I study Latin, and I was going through my Latin.
I think he said the actual word, but it was negro. It was negra in like Latin.
It's just remove one G, and that's what you get.
What is it again?
Nigger.
I always laugh at that word.
It's ridiculous.
It's
actually pronounced. It'd be pronounced nigger. Yeah, but
that sounds like an Asian. That sounds like an Asian accent, like an Asian.
Yeah, it's Latin.
I wish.
That's where the word comes from. That's the word for black. Yeah. So I'm not actually saying that. I'm saying with one G. I'm not saying the actual word. That's my scapegoat.
Obviously, you wouldn't say that.
Yeah. I wouldn't say double word. G. No.
Yeah, that's for racists.
Yeah.
But no, I think like black people should know how fun that word is to say to your white friends and just like be edgy and just like, I mean, you just like it's like the word faggot, man. It's like your friends just like being stupid. You're like, shut up, faggot. You know, like they don't understand that because they don't have friends. Like homosexuals don't have friends, so they don't understand how we razz people. You know what I mean? It's like
when I was a kid growing up, everybody called each other faggot.
They still do.
It had nothing to do with homosexual. It was just like if somebody complained about something or they're whining too much, you're like, shut up, faggot. You know?
Yeah.
Well, it was like the South Park explanation in that biker episode.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Where they go into this whole explanation. It's like it actually kind of summed up like our generation's young years. You know.
That's like I thought my name was Faggot until I was in 7th grade. I just thought that was my name.
Everybody keeps calling me faggot.
You know, it's funny too because I mean I think that there are certain cultures, certain towns that have that culture of like you know friends that just talk nonstop shit to each other and roast each other all the time, and there are certain places that aren't like that as much. But Maine was definitely like that. Maine is like I still have a group of friends in Maine that just nonstop talk shit to each other on this text chain. You know, it's like constant.
It's
And,
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, and then I moved to California, and it's totally not like that at all there.
Well, because they don't have friends there.
They do, but it's
Different
just
kind.
different. It's just a different culture.
You have friends when you're winning in California. But if you're not winning, they write you off really fast. It's like this weird kind of like black. Well, I don't know. The people I met from there just seem like they don't have like general loyalty.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody in California is like walking on eggshells. Well, all the white people in California.
Yeah, it's kind of cucked. Like I watched Ice Cube yell at Bill Maher about calling himself a house nigga, and he's just like, well, that's really offensive to like women and all these things. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Like, first off, just shut the fuck up. There's still slavery. Go end it in Asia if you're so passionate about slavery. Go end the Asian slave trade if you're so fucking passionate. Shut the fuck up. It just gets old. It's like I have a political opinion about a word you said. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. It's like nobody fucking cares. Yeah. Nobody fucking cares at all. Nobody cares. And like these people bitch on Facebook. They're like this one guy was like, everybody I was serving at a restaurant. Everybody at this table left because I'm gay. I'm like, that's not why you're not cool. It's not because you're gay. It's because you're like, you suck as a person and your personality sucks and you're kind of an idiot and kind of an asshole for no reason. And then, you know what I mean? I just can tell. And it's like, it's not because you're gay. It's like, no one cares if you're gay.
It's because they define themselves by their sexuality. That's
crazy.
Where they find their identity. And that's insane.
No, it is.
That's
it's like,
why would you do that?
Like, I had this set sometimes I'll just go into this thing where I'll be like, man, I had this really weird fetish where I just like women. Like everyone else is so insane. Like there's like so like everybody's so uptight. Like it's like if I just walked around and be like, dude, you know what? I love MILFs, dude. I'll just like identify as a dude that loves MILFs. You know what I mean? It just sounds fucking cooler, actually, but just still fucking stupid.
But if that was all you talked about and how proud you are of being a guy who just likes this specific thing,
yeah,
people don't want to hang out with that.
No, it's like vegans. It's like the same thing. It's like, did you know I only eat lettuce? Did you know I fucking only eat lettuce? I'm like, I don't care about your favorite.
You know, one of my favorite things to do is to drop the little fact that more animals are killed preserving vegan food in the process of growing vegan food.
They don't care about it. They pretend they care about it. Like you did poke a hole in their story, like completely. That totally does. But they're actually just like bulimic or anorexic, pretending like they have. It's like an eating disorder. That they pretend that they like. It's like most people that I know that are vegan actually have an eating disorder, and they'll be like, "Oh, I can't eat that because there's meat in there." I'm like, "No, you can't."
It's either So either it's a safety blanket for them, or either it's a virtue, like a virtue signal.
Yeah, it's like I'm vegan because I'm better.
You never get anything other than that.
Yeah, it's like it's not a big deal. I'm just vegan because I'm better than you. I mean, it's not like a big deal. Like. Like,
I'm just being better than you. It's not a big deal.
It's like I don't really. Yeah, it's not about the animals. I'm just better than you. That's why I'm vegan.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever. We live in a strange society.
Yeah, like vegans will they'll be like, yeah, man, I don't want to kill animals, but then they don't raise their kids properly. I'm like, you don't care.
Their kids are dying of malnutrition.
Yeah, they're just doing coke in the bathroom. They're just like, I'm vegan. I'm just like, shut. I just watched you snort like $300, and you're trying to fucking tell me that you're like you care about your health. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I noticed. I'm pretty sure our family stopped watching ages ago.
Everyone's family stopped watching.
I think they're not saying anything anymore. I think they tuned out.
We got 588 people watching this for fucking some reason still.
Wow, that's impressive.
Wow,
that's more than I imagined. I don't feel like I'm.
It's more than a lot of people watch your stupid fucking show. He's like, that's funny.
Maybe a bunch of you guys just have a bunch of bots.
Yeah, dude.
Watching the show. Is that what it is?
Well, they're called Asians, but yeah. I'm trying to get you canceled in your country. But
that's okay. That's not a thing here yet. So lucky for me that.
Yeah, don't they just work themselves to death and they have like naps?
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, nobody has enough time to cancel anybody else.
I always thought that was stupid. Like when people were like in 2014, like people would call me like names just like that, and in publications like you'll never work again. I'm like, good. I don't like working anyway. I mean, it's just
I hated this job.
Like I don't want a job. You think I fucking want a job? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, my internet disappeared, so I don't even know what I fucking last said. But
that's all right. You went Max Headroom there for a second, and then you came back.
Yeah,
Max Headroom. That's a great reference. I like that movie.
Yeah,
great reference. reference. Not many people know about that movie. That's a good movie. My buddy did that in Australia. So he took over the media at like 18 or something like that. His name's Tristan Barker. If you Google him, he took over like Australian media at like some age, like some really young age, like 17 or 18. He had he had the most liked Facebook status of all time until like they deleted it or something like that. And then I think Barack Obama does now. But he had like this thing calling out Nicki Minaj for just being a fucking retard, and like at the time, and then he had like millions of likes in the status, and then he went on the news dressed like a Nazi and like fucking smacked the reporter in the face, like dressed like a Nazi, and he said, "I'll fuck you with scissors" in German. He got away with saying, "I'll fuck you with scissors" on the news, like he said it in German, and like the dude's fucking hilarious. When I was a kid, oh, your mom John's still here. Oh, Mama Jonathan.
Yeah,
this is better than the Roger
Stone episode. Thanks, Mom.
I didn't block anybody. I get blocked. I don't block people. If an animal lives in a coma before you eat it, detecting a vegetable. That's a great point.
Wait, if an animal.
Well, gentlemen, I think we're pushing 2 hours here.
It just says the Anthony Rogers is the best show no one watches.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll take it out with the outro.
Hell yeah.
Anybody watching this still, if you're one of the 601 people, check out all Wes's movies he's in. Download all of them. Get a Wesley face tattoo. Just join the cult before it's just be a founding member of the Wesley Wing.
Do it before it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to know more about the movie, go to kaijumultiverse.com. You can sign up for the newsletter, and we'll notify you when the Kickstarter launches, which is going to be help support finish this movie. We're almost there. We're getting to the finish line. All 2 movies, of course. Yeah.
And then we're gonna take everybody out with this this Biden outro. Biden's one of the best presidents we ever had in my lifetime. He makes George Bush look like a scholar, and I hope everybody's dreams come true.
I caught part of President Putin's press conference, and he talked about the need for us to be able to have some kind of modus operandi where we dealt with making sure the Arctic was, in fact, a free zone.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No. It is not. Because you have well-equipped as army in the world and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable. Do I trust the Taliban? No. But I trust the capacity of the Afghan military, who is better trained, better equipped, and more competent in terms of conducting war. I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces. So-called Great Recession. The president asked me to be in charge of managing that piece, then President Trump. Excuse me, Freudian slip. That was the last president. Anyway, that was President Obama when I was vice president. I know you're a little younger than I am, but, I've adopted the attitude of the great Negro at the time, pitcher in the Negro Leagues, went on to become a great pitcher in the pros, into the Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson. His name was Satchel Paige. Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc. But if they actually do what they're capable of doing with the force amassed on the border, it is going to be a disaster for Russia if they further invade Ukraine, and that our allies and partners are ready to impose severe cost and significant harm on Russia and the Russian economy.
You said that Russia would be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. Are you saying that a minor incursion by Russia into Ukrainian territory would not lead to the sanctions that you have threatened, or are you effectively giving Putin permission to make a small incursion into the country?
Good question. That's how it did sound like, didn't it? The most important thing to do, big nations can't bluff, number one. Number two, the idea that we would do anything to split NATO, which would have a profound impact on profound impact on one of Putin's objectives to weaken NATO, would be a
Bam. Whoa. Good night, everybody. I'm out.
I didn't understand any of